Good now, everyone. I hope this broadcast finds you well. My name is Artorius Winchester, Scholar of the Dreaming Glade, and welcome back, finally, to another one of my VTuber cocktail streams, where I make different cocktails inspired by different VTubers that I just kind of like, you know? I just think they're neat. I hope you're all doing well. I am terribly sorry for the late start and for YouTube just being a fucking mess. For whatever reason, my, like, streaming software... Oh, hold on, am I actually getting captured by this? I need to remember to not sit too low. The setup for this, is incredibly jank. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I've still got my wiggles, which is more than I thought I'd have. The mouth tracking is probably gonna be horribly off. I can only apologize. But, yeah. So, I could also probably do it... Nah, actually, that's fine. I think my mic volume's fine. If there is anyone in either of the, well, either Twitch or YouTube, who could just verify my volumes there and check everything's, like, working alright, that'd be useful, because, boy howdy, was this a fucking palaver to set up. Let me tell you. Like, literally sat down to stream, like, the very last of the problems I had was, like, sat down to stream, hit the go live button, and YouTube was just like, nope. I was like, what do you mean, nope? And it was just like, yep, yeah, nope. Not doing that. So actually, what I probably do need to do is go back and, let's have a look. Content. There's the one I'm streaming on at the minute, and there's the one where it... Oh, cool. It's got two that are upcoming now, apparently. What the okay. It's done some weird shit. I'm gonna, delete some of these and just keep the one that is actually live at the minute. There we go. Just so people get a little less confused. Well, a little less confused. I was right the first time. Yeah, anyway. So, I had that as a kind of more immediate problem, and I've also had the problem of trying to set things up around kind of like a new, you'll see it on the hand cam in a bit. In fact, you know what? I'm going to show this now just to make it... Oh, that could do with nudging out the way. Hold on. It's a better way I can do that. By bringing this around here. Don't mind that. But yeah, you might notice. New space, new table, different colour. So this is part of the new setup I've got because I have moved abodes, which means I've had to move a lot of stuff around. But I've still got, you know, a space I can do cocktail-y type stuff on here. I'm trying to work out where exactly the edges of it are, actually. About there, and then... kind of blocks me off from doing anything too far over there. So, yeah, this is a pretty good space, I would say. But yeah, I hope you're all doing well. I haven't done one of these since last October, I want to say? Something like that? Like, it's been a long while, and I've missed doing these. It's just I haven't been in a position where I've been able to do these for quite some time. But now I'm back. I cannot get this glove to behave. What the... Okay, can we have a little bit of cooperation from the corner, please? I'd like something to not break on me tonight. No, you're just gonna continue being a bitch. Okay. Here we are. Can we... Could we possibly... There we go, something like that. Not that I'm sure why I'm mattering too much, you know, like it is what it is with this stuff at the end of the days, but yeah. New desk debut, indeed, Mimi, and nice of you to stop by. I'm glad you found the right YouTube stream because, as I was just mentioning, the restream fucked me. Like, it was like, no, I'm not going to use the, you know, the YouTube link you set up with the correct description and the thumbnail and all of that. I'm only going to allow you to stream if you make your own, which has a blank thumbnail. I'm like, why? Like, I'll go and fix it all up later so it looks nice on the VOD, but it's just a pain now because I would like it to have, you know, the correct thumbnail. Like, I probably could go and fix it, but we're already 10 minutes late on the stream because I was busy trying to work that out. And I was just going over with everyone as well how it's been a little while since I last did a cocktail stream because I've been, you know, moving abodes, as it were. So, ooh, actually, you can kind of see the reflection from my monitor on the table at the top. That's funny. Just got a clean splinter or something in this glove, which is, yeah, that tracks with how this evening's going so far. But yeah, so for those of you who've never been here before, oh, that explains why I was banished to the error dimension. Yeah, because I had to delete that old one because, God forbid, you know, God forbid things work properly, ever. Oh, I'm honestly just impressed that I managed to keep my, like, you know, my wiggles there with how jank this setup is because, let me be clear, I normally stream from a very different room to the one I'm in, so if the audio sounds a bit more echoey, that's valid, honestly. I'm doing this from a different place. But I say hopefully I still sound clear enough and it all still sounds fine. What I was gonna say is, like, what it essentially means though is that I've had to wrench out my entire computer setup from upstairs, bring it all downstairs, resize all of OBS to work with the one spare monitor I've got that I didn't want to take out of upstairs, which means that, like, you know, everything's on a different resolution down here, so it's a bit iffy, but, you know, what can you do? I'll have to probably reset it all again up in time for next stream. Yeah, it's a lot. It's actually quite a lot, but, we're here now, and I'm here to make not one, but two, hopefully pretty good drinks based on VTubers that I have seen and I admire, you know? So, without further ado, let's get on to that. As soon as I find where I put my mouse, it is here. Thank you. Right. It's also nice that Restream Chat is actually working, though, to be fair. I'll need to keep an eye. Like, if chat messages stop coming through, just scream. I normally, because, like, Restream gets a bit pedantic if you don't have it as, like, the forefront window, which I don't at the minute, but it is still working. For now. But, yeah, like, Restream can get a bit iffy with that, so, you know, if there's any, what do you call it? If there's any delay on the chats or they're not coming through, just scream and I'll go and fix it. Same with audio if that goes awry again, because OBS has been doing that recently because we are just a full circus full of issues. But hey-ho. Right. Anyway, let's get on with some cocktails. So, those of you who saw the thumbnail before it went down, or maybe saw my Blue Sky post from yesterday, might be able to guess some of these, but I'm just going to roll straight into our first VTuber of the evening, who, excuse the black on black text there, but it'll all make sense in a minute, because the background will change. But yeah, our first VTuber of the evening is none other than Mr. Lad Gaz, a Scottish dwarf VTuber who I've been, yeah, you know, I've heard some of his stuff and very soothing, kind of like talks about folklore and that. Is, you know, he's a cool dude and you should totally check him out. And now I'm gonna make a cocktail about him. God, you can tell it's been a while since I did one of these. It's also so weird the fact that, like, while I'm on this, God, it's actually a pain in the ass thinking about it, but, like, while I'm on this screen here, because I haven't got a second monitor, I can't see chat unless I, like, alt-tab it. Yeah, there we are. Now I can see chat again. I'm gonna have to just get in the habit of, alt-tabbing a lot. But, yeah, it's so weird, because to advance that, like, it has to be full screen. It's... God, I wish I had a second monitor down here. But then I would have, like, 4 monitors in my house, and that's a bit excessive. Yeah, just need an extra whole, like, setup to bring out down here. But anyway, enough of me about complaining about technical issues. Let's get on with, Mr. Ladgaz's cocktail. So, let's, I did have actually part of my overlay set up for this, but I, you know, in the midst of everything else, I completely forgot it, so I should have it ready for next time. This is, A bit rough and ready, but, you know, we'll take it. So, our old 4 bars are still back. Haven't updated them. Don't worry, they haven't gone everywhere. I know they're everyone's favorite. Oh. But yeah, so, in terms of the kind of profile drink we're making, on the flavor scale, we're going just slightly on the bitter side. I think you could argue this is actually kind of just slightly on the sweet side of things. Like, it's dancing around the middle here. Obviously, you've got a lot of kind of like strong kind of spirit-forward things in this drink, which I guess, you know, spoils the next bar slightly, so I'll just click it now. But, yeah, we're definitely going a little strong on this one, because you've got a lot of spirit-forward flavors in this one. But there's also kind of a nice little bit of sweetness, which I throw in. And I guess also some saltiness, actually, as well. Which, you know, kind of meshes together. Oh, God, what's happened? Hold on, I heard a beep. Okay. Okay, yeah, never heard of him, he seems cool. Yeah, he is, he certainly is. Like I say, go check him out. Mainly active on Blue Sky. And Twitch, obviously. Okay, so that noise was my recording for this crapping out. So, what was even the... I'm just gonna keep going and just hit record again and hope it doesn't do that again. And if I have to record this in a bunch of parts, then oh no. Just like, it's fine. I can only assume that my computer's gonna explode about halfway through this stream for no readily apparent reason, but you know, it be too. Oh. But yeah, anyway, so strength, that's what we were doing. So flavor and strength, we're looking at a fairly strong drink here. Then on the simplicity scale, we are looking about as simple as it comes. Like, I don't think you get much simpler than this outside of, like, drinking something out the bottle. This is really, like, the most... And it kind of makes sense because of the cocktail it's based on. Like, it's the most simple drink you're probably going to find in, like, cocktails as a whole. And on the hot-cold scale, we're definitely looking at a chilly one here. To no one's surprise. I've just moved setups. Let me do a couple of cold drinks, you know, get my eye in before I start messing around with hot stuff. Although, if I do want to mess around with hot stuff, it's actually a lot more convenient now. The same goes for ice. Which maybe I'll show off later. So, yeah. The main ingredient for this drink is scotch, which makes a lot of sense, you know. Lad Gaz prides himself on being a Scotsman. So, we've got to, you know, have a bit of a tip of the hat to that, and I thought, you don't get really more Scottish in your liquor than something that's called scotch. Which is a particular... for those of you who don't know what scotch is, in essence, it's like a... I believe it's a, like, barley-based, like, kind of type of whiskey that has to be brewed in specific ways in Scotland for it to be called a scotch. So, yeah, we're going with scotch on this. And he's also a, so, you know, we've got that as our main ingredient, and then I also wanted to include some kind of, like, you know, some, like, dwarven-y type themes and some Scottish type themes, and the links to some of them are tenuous, but I think this makes a nice drink regardless. It's a simple one, but I think it's a very effective one, shall we say. So, now without further ado, I will present the molten minerals. Because, okay, it's not molten, but, like, that has that kind of whole, like, you know, the kind of whole, like, Dwarven Forge vibe, if that makes sense. And also malt being, you know, like, kind of malt whiskey, which scotch is, because it's malt barley. I thought I was clever. Oh. Yeah. Gonna pizza BRB? Yeah, no worries, no worries. I'm quite happy, like, don't feel like you need to type all the time. I'm quite happy to be background noise while you're munching. It's absolutely fine. God, sorry, I've also got to stop my model popping whenever I turn away to fix my making gloves. Okay. But anyway, let's get back to this here cocktail cam, shall we? There we go. We are back. Right. So, a dead simple drink, this one. Although, that being said, I have just noticed that I forgot to get my jigger, which I'll need to get, so give me just 1 second. Yeah. Gonna need that. Yep, 1 second. Oh god, why is it picking me up from there? Okay, right, we're back. So, I should maybe get ice as well. Yeah, I'll get the ice now as well, actually, because it's, you know, the actual freezer I'm getting it from is in vaguely the same room as me now. So that's nice. So one more second, actually, while I go and get that. We will start making this drink eventually, but the ice is important. Okay, note to self when doing these streams in the future. I've got to take a little bit more care to not have my model look like I'm going through some kind of fucking, like, demonic possession whenever I get up to get something. Maybe that just means I get a bit more stuff in advance than I normally would. Like, hey, yeah, the ice is next to me now and all, which is cool. And I might have to still get up for that one, to be fair. But, yeah, like, Jigger and that, make sure you've got everything behind you before you start. Which I do now, so that's nice. Right, anyway, so... The first thing in a molten minerals, and like I say, in future streams I will have like the cocktail information where I've kind of got latest follower, latest raider there. But for now, you know, it is what it is. So, first thing we're going to need is the glass we're serving it in, which got this little number here. It doesn't actually look that bad in this table. I was worried with this table being a darker color, it was going to affect like how the drinks look, and I guess to some extent it will do, but no, it does look pretty nice, actually. So yeah, anyway. First ingredient. Bing! Done. Second ingredient is... Actually, we're going to start with the ice, because this thing's served on the rocks. So, I've got my handy-dandy ice tray here, and I'm just going to pop, I don't know, about 5 of these out, maybe? And throw them into here. We're also just going to build this in the glass that it, There we are. Build this in the glass that we're going to serve it in. You probably could use a separate mixing glass if you wanted. I wouldn't begrudge you for it. I personally am not going to bother. Sweep away the spare ice as well. We could ideally do without getting this table wet, but... There we go. Well, 4 will do, I think. And yeah, just try and keep this place fairly dry. I should have okay. I should absolutely have like a little towel or like some kitchen roll on hand to be doing this. Okay, I know I said I wouldn't get up, but hey, look, we're learning. One more second, if you please. Alright, there we are. Okay, so I've employed a handy-dandy little extra rag to try and keep things neat here. Okay, so we've got that. Now our first actual ingredient, and make sure I'm talking into the mic before I say this, but our first actual ingredient, which is behind me, is none other than that scotch we mentioned. So, I've got, admittedly, you know, maybe not the fanciest scotch ever, but I've got some Johnny Walker Black Label, and you'll see it says there, blended scotch whiskey. So, this is going to be our kind of like weapon of choice for the main body of the drink. And those of you might be able to see like, okay, whiskey served over the rocks, you know, in this. Are you perhaps angling for an old-fashioned style drink, Artie? And you'd be exactly right, I totally am. So, we're going to put 2 ounces, oh, speak into the mic, Artie. I put 2 ounces of this delicious Black Walker. Well, delicious. It's alright. I used to hate this stuff, and then I tried it in a couple of these, and I was like, okay, you know. There's maybe something going on here. But yeah, we want 2 ounces. Sorry, I'm focusing quite a lot. of our Johnny Walker Black Label in here. There we go. And really should have put down some more things behind me that I could put stuff on, but, you know, we are undergoing a learning process, I suppose. So, our next... how did my model bug out there? My god. Tell you what, I might have to switch back to the PNG if this jumps around too much. Like, I'll have a look when, because, like, if looking behind me, freaks it out too much, then, yeah, we might have to go back to the PNG for the purposes of these streams. Anyway, I'll just have, like, a funny, like, Fugi on there or something. So, anyway. There is ingredient number 1. But obviously, that's not even an old-fashioned at this point. Like, that's just whiskey and ice. So what are we adding to this to make it a bit more interesting? Well, our first ingredient to spice things up a bit is going to be... God, I wish I had a second monitor to fit all this on. Or maybe if I just resize my windows properly, I can, like, actually see myself and then chat as well, and then... There we go, something like that. But yeah, so, our second ingredient, to spice things up a little bit, well, not particularly spice, but definitely make things different, is we're going to do half an ounce of this cacao liqueur, which, for those who don't know, is chocolate. Actually, there's a recipe on the back there as well, which is kind of similar to what I'm going to do later. Okay, well, let's make sure I don't show you the back of that bottle, because that's spoilers, kind of, but... Yeah, we're going to want half an ounce of this. Now realizing that a little... Hold on, I know what I'm going to do. You... And there. I've got a little... Just something to put my jigger on. Which I'm going to... Because particularly with us needing to turn it upside down. Leave that there. And now we want... half an ounce of this. Here we go. Apologies that this is kind of a bit of a scuffed start, but like I say, new setup who dis? I'm learning. There we are, a lovely half an ounce of that, which has changed that colour to something really beautiful, actually. It's not the only thing we're adding, though. I also like the lid to this. I don't know where the fuck I've lost the lid to the cacao liqueur. Nice. Oh well. Sure, that'll turn up one day. So, other than that, we are looking at about a quarter of an ounce of something kind of special. And I'll need to explain my reasonings on this one, but we've added the chocolate. We're now going to add some salted caramel syrup, specifically about a quarter of an ounce of it. Maybe kind of like a weighty quarter of an ounce, but still just a quarter of an ounce. Now you might be thinking, okay, how are we getting Scotland and dwarves from this? So, the idea with the molten minerals was the malt obviously was going to come from, the malt was going to come from the whiskey. There we are, that's what I was aiming for. But the minerals, like the actual how to get like, okay, what's a kind of like a rare, precious mineral that I can kind of incorporate into drinks? And I was like, salt, right? You can like technically mine salt. Okay, it's not quite, like mithril or anything. But it felt on theme, somewhat. Maybe that's just me. But it felt like it had a certain je ne sais quoi to it. And then obviously, I thought, okay, well I could try and make like a salted rim whiskey drink, but that sounds a bit like, iffy. It's probably doable. But what else, how can I also tie this back to Scotland? And this is perhaps me drawing on stereotype here, so I apologise, Ladkaz and any Scotsman, if this is very cliche at this point. But I thought, weren't the Scottish the ones who did that, like, deep-fried Mars bar thing a few years back, or do they still do it? I'm not 100%, but, like, that's where I got the caramel from, essentially. I was like, oh yeah, okay, salt is minerals, caramel is, like, vaguely Scottish because deep-fried Mars bar, question mark. And both will make this drink nice. So, we've gone salted caramel, syrup, and we want just a quarter of an ounce of it. I've come to realise that where I put my light here is actually very awkward, so I'm going to move it out the way. Because I don't think it's doing much anyway, I'm going to be honest. Okay. So, 1/4 of an ounce of this, which is not too much. There we are, because this stuff is quite powerful. Like, that's probably a bit of a weighty 1/4 of an ounce for me, but we're going to go for it. And then finally, and I guess kind of a staple of Old Fashions, really, but no Old Fashioned would be complete without a few dashes of, wherever the fuck I put it, there it is, without a few dashes of some Angostura bitters. So just a couple of dashes of this. You might notice the bottle is not exactly designed for pouring. This is by intention. This is very, this is very strong, very flavorful stuff. So, something like that. What we're going for. And then once we've got all our ingredients in there, is there any way I can move this, like, off cam? Oh, there is. Excellent. Lovely. Keep that there. We're going to... I haven't got my fucking spoon to stir this. 1 second. Wait. Okay, we're back. As soon as I can untangle myself from this. Oh god, what's happened? Nothing, it's fine. Right, okay. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna stir this particular concoction up. Using my, overly fancy bar spoon. I mean, like, hey, I bought the thing, I may as well use it. Yeah. I also need to pick some more appropriate wear this time, because the sleeves on this are not doing it. I'm gonna be honest. Like, dear God, guys, why is it so hard to put the sleeves up and also have the gloves not be completely fucked? There we are. Right. Something like that. Okay, yeah, my hands are a little better. There we are. Much better. Let's go for that. And then, what I would do as well, it's going to be difficult now I've just put these gloves on as well, admittedly. But, what I would like to do, there for a second, is, I'm going to garnish this with a little salt. I say a little pinch of salt. So, I really don't know how I'm going to, in fact, maybe this will work, actually. Oh, Jesus. That's a bit more salt than I bargained for. But I guess it'll work for the purposes of stream. So, a little pinch of salt. Kind of in there. To help the salted caramel along. Not this much, just a pinch. Yes. Fuck it. Make a bit of a mess of it. But yeah, so I'm gonna need to clean the salt with my hands. Just 1 second. Because that's a bit too much. But, I suppose, you know, play stupid games, get stupid prizes. 1 second. Right, there we go. So, that's our first drink of the evening. We're looking at 1, molten minerals. So let me get my, hello, droid cam, do you want to maybe open for me? No, you want to be completely unresponsive. Lovely, thank you, love that for me. There we go, was that hard? So let's move you actually a bit more central. There. Do I want to put some, actually, do I want to put some bottles over the background of the stuff I've used? That might be a good look. I'm kind of working this out on the fly, but like, do we want to... How do we get them all in, though, is the thing. I guess I have to move this more to the... No, the drink should really be the star of the show. And then... I don't think there's a... No, we could do that. Just some... Here we go. All of this as Go-Go Streaming Chan from the Blina Valhalla soundtrack plays, which feels somewhat fitting. So we got that, we've got that. We've got my phone blocking again, so I can't take a photo with that. We've got that. Oh, the cacao liqueur, yeah, that's the other thing we use. I'd still love to know where the hell the lid for it went, but we may never know. Right. There we go. So, do we like it? Do we prefer it with those along the back, or do we prefer to push them out the way? Honestly, yeah, I don't know. I think we let the drinks speak for themselves. Like, this is a more simplistic drink, so I would expect it to be, you know, I expect the bottles behind it could maybe give it a bit more, of an X factor, shall we say, in the visual department. But let the drinks speak for themselves. So, back to plan A, which is push this back to there, hit the thumbs up here, make sure my this is on right. There we go. Take a photo of that. Alright, there we are. First drink done. Whew. Only took us half an hour. Admittedly, I think the breaks I did take are a lot shorter than they would have been otherwise. But, also, had to take far more of them. They just, I can only apologize for my unpreparedness, shall we say. Anyway, let's take a drink of this and see what it's all about, shall we? Oh, I tell you what. Salted caramel and scotch is a really good combination. Like, it accentuates this kind of, like, almost, like, maybe it accentuates or maybe even creates this, like, smoky note in the drink that's really, really nice. And obviously, because the salted caramel sweetens this up a bunch, you don't, like, get as much of the kind of spirit forwardness as you were. I'd say, actually, maybe you could, like, if you're really wanting, if you feel like this is under proof, you could do 2.5 ounces of scotch in this recipe. And, excuse me, I wouldn't begrudge you that at all. Oh, but yeah, that's a fabulous little drink. I'm gonna go in for another and see if I can pick apart anything else. God, it's smoky, it's buttery, it's got that kind of like, you know, the gumption, I guess, and, you know, the kind of strength of, spirit of that whiskey, or the scotch, I should say. But, like, I think the sweetness of the salted caramel mellows it out, and then the saltiness of, like, the actual salt we throw in there, and also the salted caramel, kind of helps bind the whole thing together. In fact, I can notice, I can almost see, like, the, like, cacao liqueur being, like, a bridge between that very sweet, like, salted caramel and that very kind of, not necessarily bitter, but, like, you know, kind of spirit-forward kind of bitter. You know, I forget, there's a technical word for this that I'm forgetting at the minute. But, yeah, that's, like, it kind of acts as a bridge between them, so you get this, like, little kind of, like, chocolatey note. But like I say, the main thing I'm surprised by is, like I say, that little bit of smoke that you managed to get in there. Yeah, that's, wow. That is marvelous, actually. Like, for something that's mainly, like I say, you know, your scotch spirit, it's very drinkable. Like, that's very, very drinkable right there. And I'm certainly proud of it. Now, what was I going to say? Hold on. Brain is buffering. 1 second. I've completely forgotten. Maybe another sip of this delightful beverage will remind me. Surely that's how this works. Because people drink to remember, right? Not to forget. Wow. Wow. But yeah. I think as well, like, another thing that can be said about this drink, with it being just a variant on an old-fashioned, is that if you've ever had, you know, a penchant for, you know, kind of like whiskey or cognac or you know, bourbon or scotch or kind of anything in that family of drinks, and you want to start looking into, like, you know, getting into very basic, you know, cocktail making mixology, even if you only make this one to make your drinks, you know, a bit better, this is a fantastic start, and then you can kind of, like, refine from there what you like, you know, maybe you throw in different syrups, maybe you throw in different bitters, maybe you kind of cut out that, in a cacao liqueur if you're not feeling that. Like, it's a very, very easy to do drink. Like, you know, there's nothing too fancy about it, but it just has a lot of kind of, well, not even a lot, it has a few pieces in it, and they all work really well together. That's, you know, that's all you need in a perfect drink. Like, a lot of people think, oh, well, you know, to, like, master mixology and get the best cocktail, it needs, like, all of the rarest ingredients, and you do something stupid with them, like, you know, roll them through 2 mugs while they're on fire, like the Blue Blazer or something. It's like, no. You take some, you know, good to all right ingredients. Not that I'm trying to slag off Johnny Walker here, to be fair, but it's just like I have had a historic and, like, I really did not like them, and then I had this drink and was like, okay, maybe, you know, maybe there's a way. But yeah, what was I gonna say? I ended up on Johnny Walker around. Oh yeah, so you have a couple of, you know, ingredients that are alright. You mix them together and you make something that's more than the sum of their parts, and the flavors you get out of this are far more than, like, the flavors of any one thing. And also, I guess an understated hero of this drink, I mean, maybe it's because I could have done, for me personally, putting another dash or 2 in, but the Ango bitters, obviously giving their, like, you know, very distinctive kick. It's amazing how well they vibe with all the other flavors in there, although I guess that's the point of those bitters, is that they, you know, quote-unquote vibe with a lot of things. Marvelous stuff. But anyway, I'm going to sit here drinking all of that if I just, well, sit here drinking all of that. So what if I don't? Yeah, I'll put that down there. And we'll move on to our second cocktail of the evening. Let's have a look. Oh, wait, no, it would help if I actually showed the fucking PowerPoint. You absolute dickhead. And now it's not letting me Alt-Tab. That's not good. Hello? Oh, I've just been locked out of Alt-Tabbing. That sucks. Hey, quick question, why? Okay. Okay, hold on. Let's, play from here. And now, if you would let me Alt-Tab. Holy shit, it's just not working. That's massively inconvenient, actually. Why? Why is Alt-Tab, of all things, broken? I'm gonna have to do this entirely off of fucking faith. God. Okay. Hold on. What we're gonna do is we're gonna disable this, and I'm gonna... God. There's so much fucking scuff this stream, it's unbelievable. Like, why won't Alt-Tab work? Or, like, even Windows Tab doesn't work. Hang on, does... Oh, it might be because my keyboard's balked. Right, that would explain it. Aye. Right. Well, tell you what, 1 second, I'm gonna go and fetch the thing that I already know I'm missing from the next drink, and unfuck my keyboard, because it's decided that none of the buttons on it want to function anymore. Because, god damn it, it's never simple. In fact, hold on, I can do something. Oops. There we are. I can do this. Back in a second. Huh? Oh. Oh my god, okay. So, VTuber Studio, what the fuck is going on here, buddy? Why are you broken now? Oh, because... Oh. Oh, that sucks. God. Okay, yeah, I know what's happened. Hold on. It's never simple, is it? Right, has my entire model still, like, is it done crashing now? Apparently fucking not, okay. Right, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have to. I will be disappearing for a brief second. I will hopefully be back, like, now. Depends if VTube Studio wants to, like, cooperate. Would be great if it did. Excuse me while I reboot this. Oh, there we go. There's the lad. Yeah, okay, I know. Warnings. Piss off. Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, thank you. Right. Are we back? Holy shit, I think we might be back. This stream is fucking cursed. I'm just gonna say it. But we move on anyway. I'm gonna drag myself to the end of this goddamn cocktail stream if it kills me. And I can only apologize for people watching back the VOD for this. Like, I promise that it's not normal that this much stuff goes wrong. In fact, hold on, let me get back to this. Like, I was expecting a few little kinks. I wasn't expecting for the entire software infrastructure of my PC to go completely like shit up because I've moved it from one room to another. The fucking goblins have got my PC. Right, anyway. So now, if I've got my alt tab back, then hopefully, if I... Oh my... Please. There we go. And now, we reboot you, and... Holy shit, we did it. Okay. Right, chat, I'm gonna have to go dark on you again for a second. But yeah. We'll now move on, finally, only like, what, 10 minutes after I said last time? To the second, kind of... What do we call it? Second VTuber I'm making a drink for. I'm sorry, I'm fucking scrambled at the minute. So our next VTuber, and I apologize for the black text here, that we'll get it fixed to, well, words. It will be fixed to white on the slide after this, it's just that I had to pick the lesser of two evils here. You can see what I mean now, but our next VTuber is none other than Miss Nimi Nightmare, who is an adorable little Baku, or, you know, tapir, that I'm sure a lot of people know about already, needs no introduction. But, you know, she has a very soothing voice, and she's a big fan of Northern Lion, which, you know, is a big deal to a guy like me. Which I think is a warranted Northern Lionism here. That actually works in context. Like, if there's ever one I was going to drop, that would probably be the one. But, ooh, whoops, here we are. But anyway, so we're making a drink based on her next. So, we're making a drink based on a Baku, which is kind of like a dream-eating, like, tapir. From, I forget from where exactly that mythos comes from. Someone will have to remind me. But yeah, so she is a nurse, like a little tapir nurse that like helps people have better dreams by eating all the bad ones. Or by smoking all the bad ones. I'm not entirely sure. Like there's too many good images of just like Nimi with a blunt that's like I find very funny, but oh. Anyway, the bars. So on the bitter and sweet scale, we're actually looking kind of more on the bitter side of this one. Less because we're looking like kind of like licorice bitter or anything, and more we're looking at like kind of like herbal bitter. Because again, you know, her being a nurse, like the whole, you know, I'm not saying that she's like Herbal Remedies McGee or anything, but it does make a kind of sense, you know, to have that kind of like that whole where medicine originally started from, which is, you know, crush these weird leaves together and like it fixes stuff, we think. That in my head is what I've just realized is what medicine translates to. Obviously, the whole science is a bit more complicated than that. But I guess my very video gamey interpretation of it is as well. You mix the red herb and the green herb, and you get medicine because we're in Resident Evil apparently. Oh, but yeah. So for those reasons, slightly on the bitter side. And also another reason why it could be more on the bitter side is because this is a strong drink. We have a nurse, someone who works in medicine, where they regularly work with anesthesia. So that's the kind of strength they're looking at, or like rubbing alcohol or something like that. And also she's related to dreams, so she really wants you like to put to sleep. Like this is gonna be like obviously I don't think that personality-wise she embodies the super strong drink, but there's definitely a couple of lore cues which are like, well, yeah, this feels like this should be on the stronger side of things. Simplicity-wise, it's still a fairly simple drink. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. But there is a little kind of like, I guess, a little bit of know-how you have to have with the garnish of this drink. Just realized I should have rinsed out my jigger, but I guess I haven't, so I'll leave it, it's fine. No, I will go and rinse it, actually, but I'll do it after I switch back to hand cam. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, that's it. So there's a little bit of kind of like garnish or presentation of this drink, which I think requires a bit of, a bit of a steady hand, but it's nothing too bad, really. And it is another cold drink. Not as cold as the previous one that had literal ice cubes in it, but still cold. As I've kind of touched on already, but given that Nimi is both a nurse and is associated with dreams as a Baku, I had to make this drink strong. And from there on, it was just about kind of like what could make a soothing nightcap. Now, I have to admit, I did kind of, again, borrow from the whole, like whiskey, bourbon, scotch, cognac kind of family of drinks for this. I've just been in that kind of a mood recently. I did see a video from Greg on how to drink, where like he mentioned like a lot. Well, he not mentioned. He did this kind of like 5 great like whiskey cocktails or something, and I was like, ooh, yeah, okay, I can get behind that. So I definitely took a bit of inspiration from there because it's just what I've been watching recently. I also took a bit of inspiration from the fact that with this drink being, so deeply associated with like dreams and, wanting it to be a good nightcap, I was like, well, okay, what food and drink are normally associated with like going to bed? And chocolate milk sprang to mind. Whenever I think of chocolate milk and alcohol, I think, oh, I see. So we're going kind of down the Brandy Alexander route. But obviously, I actually didn't end up using brandy as the main spirit for this one. I changed that up a little bit. And I think I've made something that is strong, but quite nice, Definitely 1 or 2 of those will put you to sleep. So, without further ado, let me present the Bedside Baku. A lot of talk of bed in this one, but yeah, I think it was pretty neat. So, check. Yep, my model's still working, that's cool. Sorry if I haven't been wiggling about too much, I've been like laser focused on making sure everything else is all right here. So, we're going to turn the cocktail cam back on, turn the presentation off. We are back. In fact, but I will be back in just 1 second because I need to go and rinse out some stuff that I forgot about. Okay, right, there we go. We're back. Sorry. Should be the last time I have to get up this stream. So, let's get back to it. So, much like last time, we start off with, well, I was gonna say we start off with a glass, but actually, we can start off with the glass, which would be this nice martini glass here. But we're not going to be obviously mixing stuff straight into this because, I mean, look at the depth of this thing. It's not exactly suited for it. So we're actually going to start off with our shakers. Now, I haven't tested the reflectivity of these. No, we're looking fine on these, actually. All right. So, bring up my notes so I can remember how I concocted this drink. So we want, as our first ingredient, a mere ounce. Maybe an ounce and a quarter. No, I'm gonna stick to it. If we under like do this drink a bit, then say la vie. But on the other hand, I could scale it up by a little bit. Do I want to do a 1.5 of this? I don't know. I'm gonna stick to what I've got, and if it's a little under, then it's a little under. So our first ingredient, anyways, this bottle I'm holding here. It's 1 ounce of cognac. Specifically, I've got some really nice Pierre Ferrand here, which is very nice stuff. It's got to be said. Yeah, no. In the 19th century, when the modern art of the bar was born, no spirit was more prized for mixing drinks than cognac, allegedly. I always thought it was rum. I think rum gets around a hell of a lot, but no, you can't beat a good cognac. Anyway, we're gonna want 1 ounce of that. I'm actually gonna do this as like 2 half ounces. I'm really tempted to make this 1.5 ounces of cognac. I'm wondering if that'd be overpowering though, because cognac's very strong. Decisions. You know what? We're going to try and rebalance this on the fly. I know I said I wouldn't stray from what I was going to, but we're going to give it a go. So, we have half an ounce. One ounce. And 1.5 ounces of some very nice cognac. There we are. Recork that. There we are. Thank you, Mr. Cognac. We'll put you to the side for the moment. Our next ingredient, I actually floated around on this next ingredient a lot. Originally, I had a version of this where, again, going with the chalky milk stuff, I was like, well, what if I used, like, Bailey's here? And kind of made some drink with that, and it was okay. Like, really? It wasn't super up to my standards. My god, I just realized how fucked my tracking is. Let me just do a quick recalibrate. Sorry about this. There we are. Right. Oh, come on. Don't tell me my keyboard's fucked again. It's fucked again. Ah! Nightmare stream. Hold on. I'm gonna go fix it. The one time I need Alt-Tab to work pretty desperately because I'm down to 1 monitor is the one time my keyboard decides to go on fucking strike. Right. Okay, tracking fixed. I can now... No, it's not actually. It's not even slightly. Because it thinks me frowning is me blinking. Okay, yeah, well, it's completely lost track of my eyebrows, but whatever. You know what? Fine. The model's crashing and burning. We're just gonna have to move on. At least I've still got, like, kind of wiggles. Oh, dreadful. Anyway. Where was I looking? Here we go. So, we have... I guess I don't need to take the lid off this, because I still haven't found it. half an ounce of our cacao liqueur from the previous drink. So again, we're going chocolatey. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I know it's 2 drinks in one stream that are kind of, you know, in that chocolatey vein. But hey, you know what? Chocolate's a nice flavour. So, there. Half an ounce of cacao liqueur to go with that cognac. Following that up will be... there we are. Half an ounce of this lovely, lovely Amaro Averna. Now, Amaro Avernas are, if I remember correctly, they're kind of like very, like, kind of herbally infused wines, essentially, type thing. I love a bit of Amaro Averna and stuff. In particular, I love it in a Brandy Alexander, which again, since I was riffing off of kind of a Brandy Alexander with this drink, I was like, maybe, you know, maybe some Amaro Averna could do well in this. And also, with its herbal nature, it really fits kind of, you know, like, as I said, the whole, like, Nimi's medicinal vibe, even though I'm taking the definition of medicinal from, like, you know, Resident Evil there. But hey, if it works, I just realized you can actually probably see when I, like, lean, I have to use my teeth to lean, get some of these caps off, because gloves are kind of shit for doing that. Yeah, we're going to do half, in line with our rebalance, we're going to do half an ounce of this. Which is quite a lot for Amaro Averna, so I might make it kind of like a slightly underpoured half ounce, like that. That's going to go in there. Yup. There we go. God, my model really does not like me losing tracking there. I'm, maybe something to bring up with my rigger at some point and just be like, hey, yeah, if I, like, look away slightly, my model, ceases to exist. God, and also my gloves. I need to pick a better top for next time. It's easier to sort this shit out on. Because if I can't pull my sleeves up over my gloves without them, like, essentially pulling my gloves off, what's the point? Right, anyway, sorry, mindless complaining. Next ingredient. We're looking at 2 dashes of... Now, this may look like our other Angostura bitters, but it's actually some orange bitters. Because you know what? If we're making a chocolate drink, and we want some kind of, like, you know, fruity, herbally elements to it, then, you know, shouldn't we put some orange bitters in? In fact, now that I think about it, you know, I'm pretty sure there was another VTuber who had, my god, my blinking is so off. I'm pretty sure there was another VTuber who had some, like, Amaro Averna in a drink that I've made before, that also had some kind of fruity, you know, orange elements. I think it was orange juice, not orange bitters in that case, but, I wonder who that could have been. Just can't quite put my finger on it, but I feel like it was somehow related to this, in a cosmic sense. Yeah, I'm sure the Sleuth of the Monkey will probably work that one out. But, yeah, anyway, for now, for this drink, now that I've stopped doing very vague, reminiscent posting, we're gonna have, like, just a couple of dashes of orange bitters. Something like that. Give it, you know, a little bit of a citrus kick, as it were. And then, what might surprise you, given that we've put this all in a shaker, is that we're not going to shake this. What we're actually going to do is get our ice cubes from earlier, which are starting to melt, I'm not going to lie, because I didn't put them back in the freezer, because I didn't want to get up again. I'm going to put, like, 3 of those suckers in here. Which we don't necessarily need to do, but I feel like, you know, it helps dilute the drink slightly and stop it being, you know, too spirit forward at the bottom. As you can see, our mixture is there. We're going to give this a stir. We're going to make sure all those ingredients are mixed in. And also any of the ice that does happen to melt while we're doing this, you know, it's fair enough. You don't have to stir this for ages or anything, but it also helps kind of like keep all the liquids in case you've been, you know, busy yakking forever while you've been doing them in, or fixing your rapidly crashing and burning stream setup. There we are. It helps kind of recool the various liquids in the drink down. So I'm gonna say that's probably, maybe a little bit more stirring. I'm gonna say that's probably about fine. Now we do have still, obviously the ice, I should say, the ice cubes in there. Just realised this has now necessitated an extra get up, which, oops. Or maybe it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't. Where'd I put that? There. There is where I put that. So. What we're going to do is we're going to put our handy-dandy strainer over the top of this. And we're going to strain into our glass. And there you are. Look at that. Beautiful. And then we've still got some ice cubes left in the bottom of this, which I'm just going to dispose of. The easiest way for me to do that currently is probably just eating, so sod it. Wow, this is a mistake. Oh god. Oh no. I have made a grave error. Oh, it's fine. Give me a second. We're almost there. I really hope to God you can't hear these things clanking against my teeth. Because dear God. Right, in an actual setting where you didn't want to get up, where you were able to get up, you would probably just dispose of them, like throw them down the sink or something, and not fucking eat them. But, you know, I don't know. Something about this stream, like, waves vaguely at the many technical issues. It's turning me into a fucking goblin, so whatever, fuck it. Now, our final ingredient in this drink, because we're not done yet. This is nice and all, but this is still just a very spirit-forward, very herbal, like, you know, tincture right here. What we need is something that really brings that nightcap value back to it. So what I've got here is some double cream, or heavy cream. I believe, you know, it can get called different things in different places. And we're going to want about 1.5 ounces of that, maybe 2 ounces. 2 ounces is a bit much, actually. But we're going to want about 1.5 ounces of that, so let's pour that out. There's 1 ounce. Might only get 1.5 ounces out of it, to be fair. So that's a good thing. We only want 1.5 ounces. Whoa, there we go. And there's cream on my table. Joy! Right. I am going to leave you there. Put you here. Give that. Quickly hide my sin. My god, that's stained fast. Okay, cool. Well, yeah, so we've got about 1.5 ounces of double cream in here, which is kind of just mixing with like the residue of the actual drink itself. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in the shaker, and I'm going to do what's called a whip shake, which is definitely, this is definitely the bit of the drink I stole from Craig Proud Drinks kind of latest kind of whiskey drinks episode, by the way. But I'm going to whip shake this, which means I'm essentially just going to try and not go too hard with it, I'm just going to try and introduce a little bit of air. It does also mean I'm dry shaking it, so I need to be careful that the shakers don't fly apart. So if there's ever going to be a fucking stream when they did, it would be this one. There's not a whole lot of sound on this, from, like, you know, material sloshing about in there. But you just have to trust me that they kind of are. Oh god, it does not like me shaking from certain angles. Okay. I'm trying to, like, okay, yeah. The motion of shaking seems to confuse my tracking. God, I am maybe the most awkward VTuber to ever, like, rig for. 'Cause, like, yeah, hey, by the way, I do these streams where I turn around a bunch and also, like, vibrate. And, like, my tracking gets understandably confused by that, because who the fuck does that? Right, what do we reckon? Whip shaking? Nah, we can go for a little bit more. There we go, right. So, now we have whip shaken the cream. Which means... there we are, we've got something that looks a little like that. Now what I'm going to do... and this is the real moment of truth part. This drink is going to look kind of crap if this fails, and I don't have enough cream to do it again. So, I'm just going to be really sad if this doesn't work. And I'll have to get you a picture of one that did work, although maybe it did have too much cream. is we're going to run this down the back of a spoon, and that should mean that it floats across the top of the drink. Looking good. There we go. Ooh. Almost lost the shaker there. I've been talking past the mic? I hope not. There we are. Perfection, actually. Beauty. There we go. Now, admittedly, you don't get a lot of the effect from the angle the camera's at currently, so I'm going to try and lift this up a little bit. But you can kind of see there, like you have this layer of cream on top of this. In fact, I'm going to try and re-angle the camera a bit for the sake of this one. So I did push everything back, so hopefully... Oh, I've got to get this out of shot. Hold on. And then if I angle this way a little bit... Yeah, we're going to get a bit more of the reflection, but hopefully it means I can push this back. Not really, annoyingly. I kind of need the camera to be lowered down. Can I... Is that a thing I can do? Like, lower down and... Oh, hell yeah, there we go. There we go. That's kind of more the angle we're looking for. Let me just do it. Try not to dox myself in the process. There we go. Right. That's going to be our thumbs up photo for this one. Ladies and gentlemen, a bedside Baku. Let's take a vote with that for later. And let's have a try of the thing, shall we? Just as soon as I move these shakers full of cream out the way. And also maybe reset my camera angle because I don't like the fact that everything's a bit skew-if. There we are. Right. Okay, here we go then, anyway. One bedside Baku. Oh, it's good. Oh, it's spot on, actually. I was right to adjust those ratios, I think. It's a lot, like, you could maybe refine it slightly more, but the cognac and the Amaro Averna are in, like, a pretty neat balance there. I think the cognac is still winning out a little bit, but you do get definitely the herbal notes of the Amaro Averna. You get kind of like some of the tang of the orange bitters afterwards. That's marvelous stuff. The chocolate's kind of just more a mellow kind of like sweetener, just like the lean. You know, it's the this drink's stop fighting ingredient. But yeah, and obviously even though there's this kind of almost a war being waged between the cognac and the Averna, like as much as I say actually that the cacao liqueur is like the stop fighting ingredient here, the true credit for that has to go to this cream, which when you have it at the head means you get it like a mouthful of it with the drink in every sip. And it goes a long way to kind of mediate out the stronger flavors into something a bit more palatable. That's just, I don't know. You know a drink's good when it makes me fucking chuckle like the fucking Clash of Clans guy. I think he's from Clash of Clans anyway. You know, the fucking hee-hee-ha-ha guy. Please tell me someone gets that reference. Yeah. When it makes you chuckle like him, after every sip, you know it's a good drink. And I wanted to try and hold this up for you again so you can kind of see. The curvature on this is like really awkward, but oh, actually, if I angle it like that, kind of. It's one of those ones where it's very like the 3/4 perspective, I guess, that I'm shooting this from doesn't do a lot of justice because it looks like a glass of milk, but like, no, if I properly push it down there you go. You can like see, well, you can see my streaming setup in the background, but please ignore that. You can see like the kind of, you have the layer of cream, which isn't that thick, to be fair. Again, it's just curvature of the glass, and then the actual layer of, like the actual alcoholic component. Whoops, there we go. Now, I'm going to stop playing around with camera angles now. And just get back to this. Which, like I say, is delightful. There's a lot of strong flavors in that drink being mediated by the double cream. So, wait. Hey, excuse me. There's a lot of strong flavors now being mediated by the double cream and the cacao liqueur, essentially. But, yeah, God, tell you what. Be a hell of a nightcap. You have a couple of these, you're definitely sleeping soundly. And also, as I found out earlier this week when I was prototyping it, if you've had a bunch of spicy food, these drinks fucking great, by the way. Just, you know, ton of cream and alcohol, like, yeah, that'll, I don't care, like, how spicy the thing you've had is. Like, you're doing the one chip challenge, you have 3 of these, like, 2 of these on standby, maybe 3. You're fucking sorted. No, this is not actual medical advice. If you're doing the one chip challenge, do your own research. I have not. I just had a particularly spicy load of, like, curry. Oh, marvelous. Absolutely marvelous. But yeah. And with that, I suppose, I'm going to... Oh, I forgot to hit start recording again. Fuck. Okay, well, whatever. This recording's cooked anyway. Because I try and record my streams now so I can turn them into, like, shorts, which is awesome to actually get onto, really. A bit more sharpish. But yeah, I completely fucked that. Oh, well. I guess I'll leave off this stream here. So thank you for coming to this very, very... In fact, hold on. I can do better than this. Let me go here and then do... Oh, for fuck's sake. Come on. This, and then this, and then back to OBS. There we go. Hooray! Oh, hi, Lunatel. Well, I guess I will very quickly for you put back on, lol, forgot. It's fine, don't worry about it. Well, thank you very much for showing up. I've literally just finished, the most scuffed stream you will probably ever see. The VOD will maybe be on YouTube. Who knows at this point? But yeah, I've just been making some drinks. I've made this one, the Baku's Blessing, based on Nimi Nightmare. No, not the Baku's Blessing, it's the Bedside Baku. The Baku's Blessing was the original drink name I was going to go for, and then about 5 minutes before the stream, I was like, actually, no, the Bedside Baku goes way better. Pro streaming, oh god, yeah. I promise this is more than milk, by the way. There is, like, you can kind of see it, like cognac and, like Amaro Averna and some other kind of really nice stuff under there. It's just topped with... Oh, God, I punched my mic. Well, to be fair, it wouldn't be an arty cocktail stream if I didn't do that at least once. I almost got away with it. But yeah, you just top it with cream, which makes it from the top down look like you've got a glass of milk. It looks creamy. Certainly is, yeah, because I thought, you know, we want something very strong for Nimi because she's, you know, a Baku, which deals with dreams, and a nurse who has, like, you know, anesthesia and medical-grade alcohol. So it's got to be a strong drink. And then, if I'm looking for strong things to put people to sleep, you know, what are the drinks associated with putting people to sleep? Chalky milk. So it's got cacao liqueur and a head of cream on it. And it's delightful, I don't mind telling you. And also, my tracking has been freaking out this entire stream. Like, my tracking's been freaking out. I started late because Restream didn't want to connect to YouTube for some reason for like 10 minutes, so I had to go and... it wouldn't use the live setup that I'd made. I had to let it make its own one and delete the old one, which mucked up all my links that I'd sent out already on Blue Sky and Twitter. I had my keyboard disconnect twice. I've had camera angle issues with this particular drink. It's been a fucking slog, this one. I'm not gonna lie. And also, yeah, I've had some wardrobe malfunctions. Yeah. But the point is, we've made 2 delightful drinks for 2 delightful VTubers. And I hope that I've done them some justice in these cocktails. And also, cocktail streams are back, baby. We'll be doing 1 every month. And hopefully the next one will be less scuffed. Because holy fucking shit. This is the most kind of just about there, Blina, stream we've had in a while. But yeah, so anyway, Thank you all very much for watching, I guess is what I'm getting around to say. I apologize to leave off as soon as you get here, Lunatel. But, yeah, thank you for stopping by anyway. It's much appreciated. I've just realized as well, another thing that's broken, my chat box, because there we are. Why doesn't it update? Why? Angry. God, okay. But yeah, anyway, thank you all very much for watching. I promise next time will be, well, I promise in quotation marks, I will endeavor to make it so that the next stream is way less scuffed. But yeah, thank you all very much for watching. I've been Artorius Winchester, and I'll see you all next time. Farewell.